Ahsoka Tano is a Torgruta Jedi who served as the loyal Padawan to Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker during the height of the Clone Wars before she was horribly framed for an attack on the Jedi Temple by her good friend Barriss Offee, causing her to be wrongfully expelled from the Jedi Order. After the Jedi Council discovered that she had no part in the attack on the temple, she was offered a spot back inside of the Order, but sadly she refused and took her own path in life. So, with Ahsoka Tano appearing in The Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 5, I'm going to break down 7 awesome facts about Ahsoka Tano that may be very important before The Mandalorian Chapter 13, The Jedi, airs. Before we get into it, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below for more awesome Star Wars lore content. Number 1. Ahsoka was almost kidnapped and stolen away from her home by a Jedi Imposter at a very young age. Ahsoka was born on the planet Shili to two Torgurta parents many years before the Clone Wars. Because of her incredible Force sensitivity and connection with the Force, Ahsoka was discovered by the Jedi Order's scouts only a very short while after her birth. Before the Jedi Order could send one of their own to collect the young girl, however, Ahsoka was tracked down by a Zygerian slaver, who were a species known for their love of slavery and for holding one of the galaxy's last remaining slave empires, despite the practice being outlawed by the Republic many years prior. The Zygerian slaver was one of the most renowned bounty hunters among her people, and was tasked by her queen to track down and capture Force-sensitive children around the galaxy. After the Zygerian arrived at Ahsoka's hometown on Shili, she pretended to be a member of the Jedi Order, sent by the Council to collect the Force-sensitive Torgruta, but of course, in reality, she planned to take Ahsoka in as a slave to the Zygerian people. Luckily, while the bounty hunter was in the process of stealing Ahsoka away from her parents, Jedi Master Plo Koon arrived on the planet and thankfully rescued Ahsoka, bringing her back to safety at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. Number 2. Ahsoka's headdress is made from the teeth of a deadly predator. Ahsoka's headdress was a traditional garment worn by many Torgruta males and females, and was known as the Arkle Tooth headdress on the planet Shili. This item was carefully crafted using pearls, various precious metals, stones, and most importantly, the teeth of the Arkle beast. Only Torgrutas who were brave enough and strong enough to face an Arkle beast alone and come out on top were given the right to wear this important headdress, marking them as a truly fierce warrior of their species. The Arkle was a large, four-legged predator with orange fur which menacingly roamed and prowled the grasslands of Shili, striking fear into the hearts of many Torgrutas. The jaw and teeth of this ferocious creature was so strong that no Torgruta in history had ever broken free from its hold once its teeth had sunk into their thick skin. Number 3. Ahsoka is actually not dead in The Rise of Skywalker. In the final scenes of Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, Rey was guided by the voices and Force spirits of some of the most influential and important Jedi from before her time. Among the voices that spoke to Rey were Obi-Wan Kenobi, Mace Windu, Anakin Skywalker, Kanan Jarrus, and of course Ahsoka Tano. Because every single one of the Jedi who spoke to Rey during her fight with Palpatine are confirmed to be dead, many of us believe that this unfortunately confirmed Ahsoka's death by the time of Episode 9. Thankfully, however, Dave Filoni, the co-creator of Ahsoka, along with George Lucas, has strongly hinted and probably confirmed that Ahsoka is actually still alive, with multiple statements. The first thing Dave Filoni said after Ahsoka's appearance in Episode 9 was, "It doesn't really have big implications to what I'm doing with the character, to be honest. I just thought it was a really fun thing to include." He also goes on to add, "Star Wars fans deal a lot in absolutes, which is very much a Sith thing. I remember in The Empire Strikes Back, Luke speaking out through the Force to Leia. Vader also does this at the end of Empire Strikes Back. There's no absoluteness that these people are dead." This statement right here pretty much gives us a big nod that Ahsoka is definitely not dead, and that Dave Filoni has many plans for her character in the future, including The Mandalorian Season 2. And to put the cherry on top, after making these statements, Dave Filoni released an awesome piece of artwork that he drew on his Twitter page, once again reassuring everyone that Ahsoka is probably still out there during the time period after The Mandalorian. As you can tell by the photo, Dave Filoni is a massive Lord of the Rings fan. Number 4. Ahsoka worked as a mechanic to survive after Order 66. After the tragic call of Order 66 was given to all clone troopers of the Grand Army of the Republic, and Ahsoka was able to remove the inhibitor chip from Captain Rex's head, the two close friends went their separate ways, forcing Ahsoka to survive on her own in the aftermath of the Great Jedi Purge. Ahsoka eventually ended up on the Outer Rim world of Tabesca, where she took the fake name Ashla in hopes of remaining hidden from Darth Vader's ruthless Inquisitors. Because she was of course a Jedi Knight before the Great Jedi Purge, she didn't have any money of her own, meaning she had to find herself a job on the planet. Ahsoka eventually became a mechanic for the Offee family on Beskar, using the skills that she brushed up on with the Martez sisters, and was kindly given a place to stay in return for fixing the various transport and cargo ships owned by the Offee family. During her time as the Offee clan engineer, she collected an assortment of spare parts and pieces from her work. And make sure you remember this, as it will be very important for the next fact. The Offee family were extremely dodgy and heavily involved in the underworld smuggling business, but Ahsoka had no other choice but to keep her mouth shut if she wanted to remain hidden from the vast reach of the Empire's Inquisitors. Unfortunately, however, on one gloomy evening, the children of the Offee family were playing in their courtyard near some heavy stacked crates without a care in the world. One of the young children bumped into the crate with a strong force, sending it tumbling towards one of the other children, only moments away from brutally crushing him. Ahsoka happened to be nearby and was forced to reveal herself as a Force user to save the young child. Only a short time after this incident, Imperial officials arrived on Beskar wanting to speak to Ahsoka, but the moment she heard this news, she knew her time on the planet was over before stealing one of the Offee family ships and fleeing to the nearby farming moon of Rada, where she once again worked as an engineer. This leads us straight on to the next fact. Number 5. Ahsoka's white lightsabers come from the purified kyber crystals of an Inquisitor. After fleeing from the grip of the Empire on Beskar and arriving on Rada, Ahsoka soon became the farming moon's most well-known engineer and befriended a group of local farmers. Ahsoka eventually became horrified at the Empire's disgusting oppression of the planet, forming her own resistance movement with the locals. Her actions eventually gained the attention of the Empire after she raided an Imperial military installation on the small moon, where they quickly figured out that the girl named Ashla was Force sensitive. Because of this, the Empire sent the grey-skinned Inquisitor known as the Sixth Brother or Bill Valen to hunt down and kill Ahsoka. As the Inquisitor approached the farming town that Ahsoka was located in, she heard the bleeding red kyber crystals of his lightsabers sing to her in the Force, and from that point onwards, she knew that those kyber crystals would soon belong to her. Following this, the two engaged in a ferocious battle, where Ahsoka was able to brutally explode the lightsaber in the hand of the Sixth Brother, horrifically burning his face and eventually killing him shortly after. After this, she took the kyber crystals from his blades and purified them into the bright white colored sabers that we see in Rebels. This again leads us directly into the next fact. Number 6. Ahsoka started the Fulcrum covert intelligence program for the Rebel Alliance. After Ahsoka began her small-scale resistance movement on Rada, high-ranking Rebel Alliance member Bail Organa quickly took notice of her noble work and offered Ahsoka a position in the Rebel Alliance intelligence network. Ahsoka quickly accepted this position and served as commander of Rebel Alliance intelligence, taking the codename Fulcrum for herself. The codename Fulcrum actually comes from Ahsoka's time serving in the Clone Wars, where a covert Republic communications frequency, codenamed Fulcrum, was used to communicate with Saw Gerrera and the rebels on Onderon. After Ahsoka accepted Bail Organa's offer, she took the name Fulcrum from her time on Onderon and made it her personal codename. Following this, all further high-ranking agents of the Rebel Intelligence Network used Fulcrum as the standard codename for their highly secretive work. Other Fulcrum agents included Cassian Andor, an Agent Callus, an Imperial defector. And finally, number 7, Ahsoka has a deeper connection to the daughter of Mortis than anyone realizes. The gods of Mortis, also known as the Ones, were a mysterious family of incredibly powerful Force users attuned to the 3 natural states of the Force. The father of Mortis represented the balance, the daughter represented the light, and the son represented the darkness. During Ahsoka's time on the mysterious world, she was actually killed by the son of Mortis after having her life force drained by him. She was eventually revived by her master Anakin, however, using the essence of the daughter. After this, however, the animal form of the daughter, a mysterious convor named Morai, continued to follow Ahsoka around for the rest of her life, even following her into the world between worlds after almost being slaughtered by her former master Darth Vader. For this reason, she has a deeper connection to the daughter of Mortis than anyone realizes, which may be explored in The Mandalorian Season 2. So those are 7 awesome facts about Ahsoka Tano before The Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 5. Thanks so much for watching, cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.